Hello, welcome everyone to this channel. I am Mary Tejidos. In today's class, we will go through the detailed step-by-step of this beautiful bag. We are going to make it with double single crochet stitches. We will add these accessories, make the T0 handles, work on the side panels, and do the seaming. Look, how beautiful! Look at this side. It's a gorgeous bag, very elegant, and it's on trend. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming classes. Without further ado, let's go to the list of materials and then to the step-by-step instructions. We are going to work with the following materials: scissors, measuring tape, a magnetic clasp with holes for sewing, 4 stitch markers, 8 rings, a 2 cm diameter carabiner, 22 gauge nylon, and a simple sewing needle to sew the magnetic clasp. A small pointer. A 5.5 crochet hook will be our main hook, and a 3.5 crochet hook will be used to weave in ends. I will be working with t-shirt yarn from Tucson Sumos, your online store. Here I have a 1 kiki skein. This is feather type, extra lycra selected, and it has a strand that is 1.5 centimeter wide. You can get all the materials at your online store, Tucson Sumos. In the video description, I will leave you the link to their shopping page. Let's start by working on the body of the bag. We're going to make it with double single crochet stitches, starting with a slip knot. Now we will chain 13. We have a loop on the hook, yarn over and pull through. Inside this loop on the hook, yarn over and pull through. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 25, 36. We are going to work the first row. We are going to do it from the back, where the bumps are. We are going to do this one with slip stitches. The first 2 will be slip stitches. We are going to insert the hook from the back. Look here where the ridges are. Under the second ridge, we are going to start. Here we make slip stitches until we get here, to the last ridge. We insert the hook under the second one. We yarn over, bring it forward, and lift it up, always at the same height as the loop that's on the hook. Now, we're going to slip the first one into the one we already had. This way, we have our first slip stitch here. We insert the hook under the next ridge. We yarn over. Here we slip, under the next one. This way, we're going to make slip stitches, 1 under each ridge until we reach the last one. Needle under the ridge here. We yarn over and slip. We make a turning chain here. We finish the first round of slip stitches with 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are going to turn the work and make the second round also with slip stitches. We insert the hook into the center of the second chain, taking only the top loop, this one. This loop. We insert the hook into the center of the second chain, yarn over, and make a slip stitch into the center of the next one. We slip stitch. I finished the second round of slip stitches with 12 stitches, and they have a measurement of 10 centimeters long. Now we're going to make a turning chain and turn the work. We start the third round, and we're going to do this one with single crochet stitches. Insert the hook in the center of the chain, taking only the top loop. Look, we're always going to start in the second chain. We pass the hook through. In the second one, we yarn over. We lift up, we have 2 loops on the hook, we yarn over and close the stitch. We insert the hook again into the center of the next chain and make a single crochet in the next one. In this way, we are going to work single crochets until we complete all 12 stitches. I finished the 12 stitches of the third round. Now we're going to make a turning chain. Pay close attention because the fourth round will be worked with double single crochets, starting and ending with increases. So I'm going to show you where the stitches will go. Look, here we have a complete chain. We insert the hook into the center of the second chain, taking only the top loop, right here. We have it on the bottom part. 1 loop. See that we work the single crochets into the top loop of the chain, and the other loop is left in the front, on top of the single crochet. Look here, this is where the loop is. In this remaining loop from the previous stitch, we are going to work the double single crochets. We go through the center of the chain and under this loop, through the center of the chain and under this loop. We start here with an increase, which means 2 stitches. Inside that stitch, we work 10 stitches without increasing, and here in the last stitch, we will also finish with an increase. So let's begin. Insert the hook into the center of the second chain. And in the back loop, we yarn over, pull up a loop, and here we make a single crochet. We insert the hook again into the center of that stitch. And we make the second stitch of the increase. We are going to work 10 stitches without increasing. We insert the hook into the center of the chain and the strand that is underneath. Now we are going to work the last stitch. Look here where the chain is and the strand underneath. We insert the hook and make an increase there. 1 stitch. We make the next one. 2nd stitch. We finish round number 4 with 14 stitches. Please check. We're going to make a turning chain and work on round number 5. In this round, we won't make any increases. We're going to insert the hook under the second chain, picking up the top loop. And notice that at the end, there's a loop under the stitch. The second chain. Notice that the next one is the chain. We're going to insert the hook through the center of that same chain, but we're going to finish in the same loop where we made the first one. The stitch should look like this. For the next stitch, notice that we already have the chain in the bottom loop. Chain in the bottom loop. Notice that they all match up until you reach the second to last one. In the second to last chain, we're going to do the same process we did at the beginning. We insert the hook through the center of the chain and through the strand that's underneath. We're also going to do the same with the last one, through the center and the same strand, where we made the previous stitch. We insert the hook through the center of the second chain and through the strand underneath. We make a stitch, and we insert the hook through the center of the next chain and through the same strand where we made the previous one underneath. Here we are going to continue working chain, strand, chain, strand, chain, strand. We reach the second to last chain, insert the hook through the center and through the strand that's underneath. See, there's only one left. We go through the center of the chain and make the stitch in that strand. Here we have the last chain. This one tends to hide a little. Look, here it is. We go through the center and into the same strand where we made the previous stitch. We finish round number 5 with 14 stitches, the same number of stitches we ended the previous increase round with. So here we make a turning chain. We're going to work on round number 6, and here we're going to make increases. We are going to alternate one round with increases, one without increases, one with increases, and one without increases. So on this round number 6 we start with an increase. We'll pass the needle through the center of the next chain and the bottom strand. Here, we're going to make 2 stitches. One. And 2. We're going to do the next stitch in the center of the chain and in the strand on the bottom part. Like this. We will make a total of 12 stitches until we get here to the last one, where we will also work an increase. We pass the hook through the center of the chain and through the strand on the bottom. We are going to complete the 12 stitches here. I completed the 12 stitches. We are going to make the last stitch here. Look where you can see the chain and the strand that's here in the back. We pass the needle through the center and under the strand. Look here where the 2 are. That's where we make the increase. 1 and 2. We finish round number 6 with an increase stitch at the beginning. 12 stitches without increase. An increase stitch at the end for a total of 16 stitches. Now we're going to work on round number 7, and in this one, we won't make any increases. We make a turning chain. We insert the hook in the center of the chain and in the strand at the bottom. We make a stitch. In the next chain, we insert in the center and in the same strand where we made the previous stitch. On this side, we're going to work a chain with 1 strand, and we've reached the last 2 stitches. Here, we make 1 stitch. We pass the hook through again. And the last chain stitch in the same strand at the bottom, just like that. Let's check. We complete round number 7 with 16 stitches, the same number of stitches we finished with after the increase in the previous round. Let's make a turning chain. Now we'll work on round number 8, and in this one, we'll make increases. We start with an increase in the second chain and continue working. 14 single stitches, because they don't have an increase. And here in the last one, we're going to make the second increase. We insert the hook into the second chain and make the first stitch of the increase. We insert it again and make the second stitch here. We work the 14 single stitches until we reach the point where we are going to make the increase. Once you finish the 14 stitches, we are going to make the last increase here. We insert the needle in the center of the last chain and into the strand that's underneath. We make the first stitch here, insert again, and make the second stitch. We place it. We finish round number 8 with a total of 18 stitches. 1 increase stitch at the beginning, 1 at the end, and 14 single stitches. We make a turning chain here. We will work on round number 9, and in this one, we are not going to work increases. Remember that we are alternating rounds with increases and rounds without increases. Here we are going to make 2 stitches under the same loop. As I explained before, we will always do this in the rounds that have increases. And in the loop at the bottom, we make a stitch here, in the next chain, and here in the same loop. We continue working the stitches until we reach the last 2. I've reached the last 2 stitches here, so we're going to make a stitch in the center of the chain, taking the bottom loop, and in the center of the last chain, taking the same bottom loop. I finished row number 9 with 18 stitches. We make a turning chain and start row number 10. In this row, we're going to make an increase in the first stitch, 16 single stitches, and an increase in the last stitch. Here, we make the first stitch of the increase, 1. 2. We will work the 16 single stitches until we get here to the last stitch. I completed the 16 stitches. Now let's make the last increase, 1 and 2. I finished round number 10. Make a turning chain and now turn the row. In rounds 2, 4, 5, 10, and 11, I work the round. And in round number 12, we will do the last one with increases. I've already worked round number 11 and rounds 13, 14, 18, and 19.
Ya trabajé la vuelta número 11.
20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and round number 12. Here we make a turning chain. We start with an increase. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 37, 38, 40, 42, 44, 45, 46, 50, 51, 54, 67, 58, 59, 59, 60, 62, 64, 62, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 73, 75, 76, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 92, 93, 100, 100, 100s. I finished. Let's go. 20, 21, 23, 24, 26, 30, 31, 40, 41, 46, 43, 44, 45, 47, 48, 49, 50, 52, 53. The let's go to 52, 53, 63. From now on, let's go to 53, 54 increases. We have chain 55, 56, the last round that we are going to do with increases. 57, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 83, 84, 86. We insert the hook into the second chain and into the strand that is 88, 89.
Realizamos aquí el
90, 92, 93, 94, 98, 99. 900, 9,000, 90, 90. We make the next stitch. We continue working. Here in the last two chains, we go through the center and the back loop. And in the last one, look, it gets hidden too. Look here. We go through the center and in the same strand at the back. We finish round number 13 with 22 stitches, the same number of stitches we ended the previous round with. And with this same number of stitches, we are going to continue working. Throughout the center of the piece, we make a turning chain here and work stitches without increases. We insert the hook in the center of the chain and into the back loop. Here, it's time for a chain with one loop. One chain, one loop, like this, one on top of the other until you reach this last one here. We pass the hook through. We make the first stitch here. I finished round number 14. Now we're going to place some markers. This is so we know that here we're already working the stitches opposite each other. Notice that the previous round was a round without increases, but it was the complement to the increases. Remember that we work one round without increases, one round with increases. I'm going to continue working on the center of the piece, making the rounds this way on the base of 22 stitches. And I'll show you up to what height and how many rounds we're going to make. I finished the rounds without increases. Here I did 53 after the marker. And how are you going to identify them? Each little bump is made up of 2 rounds. You can count the bumps. Here we have a total of 26 bumps. I'll give you the measurement so far. From the marker, the stitches without increases measure 27.5 centimeters.
¿Yo?
Now, including the increased stitches, the whole piece measures here approximately 34 centimeters wide. It measures 21 centimeters. Keep in mind that these measurements may vary depending on the thickness of the yarn you are working with. And if you're wondering, Mari, can I do this project with a yarn that's 2 centimeters wide? Of course you can. You can work with a yarn that's 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters, or even up to 3 centimeters wide. You can also make it with PIP cord or rat tail cord. Now, we're going to work on the last part of the piece. We're going to do this with decreasing stitches. Pay close attention. Here, where we finished rounds 50 and 53, we're going to place some markers. Here, the first stitch is going to be a decrease stitch. We make a turning chain. We're going to insert the hook, not in the second chain, but in the third one. 1, 2, and 3. We insert the hook into the strand that's on the bottom. We're always going to skip this first stitch whenever the rows are in decrease. So we don't work into this one, but into the third chain. We insert the hook and make a stitch. We work on this side. as we were doing before, passing through the hole in the center of the chain and into the back loop. Just like this until we get here to the last 2 stitches. We've reached the last 2 stitches. Here, I made 18 stitches after the decrease. Now, we're going to work the decrease on this side. Here, we're going to do it differently, not like we did at the beginning. We're going to insert the hook. In the center of the chain and in the back loop, we yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're not going to close the stitch, but instead, we're going to insert the hook into the center of the last chain. And in the back loop, we yarn over here, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. Now we yarn over and pull through all of them. We make a chain. I finished the first round of decreases with 20 stitches. We're going to work on the second round, and in this one, we won't make any decreases. We're going to make 1 stitch across from the other. Check to make sure they match. The chain should line up with the back loops until you get here to the last one. I finished this round without decreases with 18 stitches. Let's work on the third one. We make a turning chain. Here we are going to make decreases. We insert the hook, count 1, 2 into the third chain and into the loop at the bottom. We make the stitch. Now we are going to work 16 stitches until we reach the last 2. Complete the 16 stitches. Now we are going to make the second decrease. We insert the hook into the chain and into the back loop. We add height but don't close the stitch. We go through the center of the next one. We give it height, we have 3 loops on the hook, we yarn over and pull through all of them. This way, we've closed the stitch. We make a turning chain. We finish the third round with 18 stitches. We are going to work on round number 4, and here we are going to do a decrease. Remember that we are alternating one with a decrease, one without a decrease. In this one, we are going to insert the needle in the center of the chain and in the strand that is right underneath. Notice that the first one is always left over. We go through the center and the strand underneath. Keep going like this until you reach the last stitch, making a total of 10 stitches, 18 stitches. I finished the 18 stitches of round number 4. Let's work on row 5. Here we are going to do decreases. We make a turning chain. We insert the hook into the third chain, in the bump on the underside, and we make the stitch. Now we're going to work 14 single stitches until we reach the last 2 stitches. After the 14 stitches, we're going to make the second decrease. We go through the center of the last chain. We have 3. We close the stitch, make a turning chain, and finish row number 5 with a total of 16 stitches. We're going to work on row number 6, and in this one, we won't make any decreases. We'll work over the 16 stitches. I completed the 16 stitches of row number 6. Whenever you finish, make sure you have the number of stitches I'm telling you. Here we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We make a turning chain, and now we're going to work on row number 7. In this row, we're going to do decreases. We insert the hook into the third chain. We make the stitch. We're going to continue making 12 single crochet stitches on this side before reaching the last 2 here, where we'll finish with the second decrease. I finished the 12 stitches. Now let's work the last decrease. Turning chain. We finished round number 7 with 14 stitches. Now let's work round number 8. Here, we will make 14 single crochet stitches. I finished round number 8 with 14 stitches. Now let's work round number 9. Here, we are going to make decreases. We insert the hook into the third chain and make the first stitch. We are going to work 10 single crochet stitches on this side before reaching the last 2. I finished the 10 stitches. After the first decrease, we are going to make the second one here. We close, make a turning chain, and finish row number 9 with 12 stitches. Now we are going to work row number 10 with 12 single crochet stitches. I finished the 12 stitches of row number 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we are going to do the last 2 rows, and these will be slip stitches just like we did at the beginning. Turning chain, we insert the hook in the center of the chain and in the back loop, and here we are going to make a slip stitch. We have 2 loops on the hook. We pass through the first one. Pay attention. For the second one, in the center of the chain and in the back loop, we make slip stitches. Turning chain, I finished the 12 slip stitches. Now let's work on the last one. We insert the hook into the center of the chain, and here we make slip stitches. I finished the 12 slip stitches. Now let's cut the yarn. I'm done. We pull it out, and with the help of a thinner needle, we're going to hide it on this side, passing it under this ridge. I finished hiding the yarn. On the bottom part, you can put a drop of silicone or a simple stitch with needle and thread on the excess to prevent it from coming out. Here, you cut off the excess. And you hide the tip. This is how it should look. We're going to do the same with this strand. The total length is 41 centimeters, and in the center, it's 21 centimeters. 9 centimeters. And here, 10.5 centimeters. We already have the piece ready. We made 12 rounds of increases, 53 rounds in single crochet, and finished with 12 rounds of decreases. If you want to make the bag a little bigger, you should start with more chains. We worked with 13 chains, but you can increase by 2s until you reach the desired size. Keep in mind, adding 2 chains will make it straighter. At the beginning, for example, if you start with 15 chains, you need to add a row with increases. That means you should do 1 row with increases and 1 without increases. So it wouldn't be 12 rows anymore, it would be 14 rows. In the center of the piece, you will make as many rows as you think are necessary. And when you finish the row where you increased, you also need to decrease it. That means you are not going to do decreases. Not 12 rows of decreases, but you are going to do 14 rows of decreases. This way, you will increase depending on how wide you want to make the bag. And if you want it smaller, then simply use fewer chains here and fewer rows on this side. Let's fold the piece in 2 parts. Let's arrange it very well. Look, the markers ended up in the same place. And now we're going to do the sides. For the sides, we will crochet 7 chains. We start with a slip knot. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We are going to work on the back part of the chain, where the bumps are, starting at the second bump. Here we make a simple single crochet. Under the next one, we are going to work until the last little ridge, completing 6 single crochets. 1, complete the 6 stitches, we are going to make a turning chain, turn the work, insert the hook into the center of the second chain, and work single crochets. I completed the 6 stitches, we make a turning chain, and here we are going to start double single crochets in the 3rd row. Insert the hook into the center of the second chain, which is the strand that stays at the bottom of the stitch. We make a stitch, insert into the center of the next chain, and it's the strand at the bottom. Here we will make 6 stitches. We'll make the last one here. We finish the 3rd row, make a turning chain, and start the 4th row from this side. We go under the 2nd chain and the strand that's underneath. I finished the 4th round and it measures 5.5 centimeters wide. I'm going to continue working the rounds with single and double crochet, and I'll show you how tall it gets and how many rounds we're going to do. Before finishing the rounds, on this side, I want to explain how you should use the bag as a guide. In case you want to make it bigger, you're going to take the piece, place a marker in front of the other, and put the side in the center where we're going to work. We're going to work on the seams here, where the ridges are. One ridge should be facing the other. So we place the piece here like this. Here, an arch. Here, you'll always have an arch, and as we sew, it will start to close. So here, we position the piece. And I notice how many little bumps I need to reach here where the marker is. Look, here I still need 1, 2, 3 little bumps. That means I need to work the rows until I finish the 3 little bumps that I still need. I finished this side. I completed the 10 little bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I worked a total of 20 rows. It measures 5.5 centimeters wide and 12 centimeters high. When finishing the side, we need to cut a strand about 80 centimeters long to sew the bag. Here, on this side, we pull out the loop with the hook. We tighten it. Now we're going to hide the strand on this side. We release the slip knot. We tighten it. Look, here we have the complete chain. We take this strand and we're going to hide it underneath the stitches, passing it under this little ridge. And we hide it down here. I finished hiding the strand. Now let's cut off the excess. Here we hide the end, finish this piece, and make another one exactly the same. We also leave 80 centimeters of yarn for sewing. Look, it has the same measurements. We are going to place them on our bag. This way, here where the bumps are, these will be on the inside. So one will be on this side like this, and the other one like this. We will sew it with a yarn needle, placing the side piece on our bag. Placing one stitch in front of the other. Let's try to have one ridge and in front of it another, one ridge and in front of it another. Look at them here. Let's make the first stitch. We take the yarn and pass it under the ridge that's in front. We pull it out. For the next stitch, we're going to insert the needle like this. We go under the ridge. Look, here we have the ridge, and underneath is this strand. We go under. And under the strand down here, we go under the ridge and under the strand. See, it should go like this. Under the ridge. And under the strand. And on this side, we're also going to work under the ridge and under the strand. So we insert the needle. Here under the ridge, under the strand. Here in the stitch that's in front, under the ridge and under the strand. Look, like this. We pull out. We stretch it out very well. We take the strand back again. We go under the little bump, under the strand. Look, the strand is the one under the little bump. Here, we pass the needle under the little bump and grab the strand from underneath. We pull it out. And we tighten the strand. We take the strand to the back again. We pass under the little bump and under the strand. You can do this one first. And then then the other one under the little bump and under the strand. Look, we're making the stitches in a wrapping motion. We go under the little bump and see that here the strand is on top. On this side, the little bump. And here is the strand. The needle should look like this. Pull out the strand. And tighten it very well. Tighten it and look how the seam is turning out. Here I'll explain again. Look, here we have the little ridge, and under this little ridge there are two strands. Look at them. Here we're going to pass the needle under the little ridge. And under the strand. Like this. So on this side, there's also the little bump. And underneath, there are 1 and 2 strands. We're going to take the top strand. This one, we pass it under here, like this. We pass under the little bump. And under the first strand. On this side, we pass under the little bump. And under the first strand. Here, we've already reached the last stitch. We pass under this little bump. And here, under the first strand, here, under the little bump on this side, and under the first strand, this is the last stitch on this side. Here we pull through. In this stitch, we are going to place a marker to know that this is the last one on this side, so we can use it as a guide when attaching the side panel on this side. Now we're going to sew the bottom part. We pass the needle, not through the first chain, but through the second one. Look, we go through the whole chain. Under the little ridge and the strand. We tighten it very well and pass the needle under the next chain. And on this side, under the little ridge. And under the strand. We skip this chain. We move on to the next one. Look, we're going to leave this one and move here to the next one, under the little ridge. And under the strand. We grab here. We're going to make the last chain at the bottom. Look at it here. And here is the last little bump. We're going to sew on this side, and since the stitch position changes here, you're going to do it like this. Look, here's the little bump, and on top, the two strands come out. Pass the needle under the little bump. And under the strand. Like this, under the little bump. And here, under the strand. Here at the top, we have the strand first, and then the little bump. So you're going to pass the needle under the first strand, and then under the little bump. Under the strand. And then under the little bump. We go through here. On this side. Under the little bump. and under the strand. Since this is the first stitch, we're going to place a marker. So we can locate the stitch here on this side. We pass the needle underneath of the strand and of the little mound, and here under the little mound, and of the thread. It gets a little stuck here. We adjust. We go through here under the strand. Look, the needle has to go into the loop and here under the little bump. It goes through here. Under the little bump first, and then through the thread. Look, the needle enters from the side. Here we pull it out. We adjust the stitch. We're going to make the last stitch. Let's go this way. See the small bump? Under the thread and under the little bump, the needle goes in and comes out here, where the chain stitch is in the center. We pass the needle under the little bump. Look, this is the last one here, and under the thread below. There. We pass the needle through again. Under the little mound. It should come out at the center of the chain stitch. This is to reinforce this stitch. We go through on this side again. Now we take the thread inside. And we're going to hide it underneath the stitches. I finished hiding the thread. We're going to cut off the excess. Look how the seam on this first side turned out. Look how even it looks. Very neat. The markers ended up on ridge number 11. On this side, it also ended up on ridge number 11. We arrange the second side. Make sure one stitch lines up with the other. Let's start sewing. I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to pass the needle through. Here, under the marker. See, there are two small threads. From back to front. Like this. You're going to pass the needle through. Under the bump. And through the top strand. Like this. And on this side, you're going to pass the needle. First through the thread. And then through the little ridge. Here. Water. And here they go to the little hill. On this side, on the hill and the thread. And here on the thread. And here, under the little hill. Let's do the last stitch on this side. Let's make sure it matches with the stitch where the marker is. We pass the needle under the small ridge. Here. And here, under the strand. And then under the bump. We adjust, then work the stitches on this side. We skip the first chain. We pass the needle under the second one. Here we work the yarn and the ridge. Under the yarn. and under the ridge. We do the next one. We skip the third chain here. We move on to the next one. We're going to make the last chain here. We finish the stitches here. We're going to start on this side. We make the first one here. And let's check that it matches. With the stitches where the marker is. Look, here's the marker. We go up and this is where we're going to make the stitch. So it matches. We go through here. Under the chain stitch. Here on this side. Under the strand in the little ridge. Let's finish the stitches on this side. I've already finished the stitches on this side. Let's do the last one here. We pass the needle through. Under this strand. And under the little bump. Look, it has to come out here. In the center of the chain stitch. Now we pass the needle through. Under this strand. And under the little bump. Here we repeat the process. We go through again. Under the strand, coming out from the chain center. And we go through again on this side. Now to secure the strand. One stitch. We pull the strand from inside the stitch. And here on this side, we're going to hide the strand very well, just like we did before. We've finished attaching this side panel. See, we didn't miss or have any extra stitches. I've already hidden the bottom strand. And this is how our bag is turning out. Look how beautiful it is. We're going to make the handles for the bag. There are 2 handles. I'll explain how to make one, and you can repeat the process for the other. We start with a slip knot. And we crochet 26 chains 1, 2, 3. We have the 26 chains. We're going to work 3 rows of single crochet. We insert the hook from the back where the bumps are. And we make a stitch. And under the next one. Up to the letters here, to the last bump. Let's add a row of letters. We fix it.
Vamos a realizar el último punto.
We finish the first row with 25 single crochets. We make a turning chain, turn the work, and insert the hook under the second chain. Look, we go under the whole chain, yarn over and make a stitch, then go under the next one. I finished the second row. We make a turning chain, and we are going to work the third and last one. We go under the second chain. We work single crochet stitches until we complete all 25 stitches. I finished the 25 stitches of the third row. I'm going to give you the measurements. It's 22 centimeters long and 3 centimeters wide. We're going to make a turning chain. We're not going to work any more rows. we're going to take the piece and fold it. Look, here we have a ridge. On this side a stitch, and on this side a stitch. We fold the piece like this. Placing one stitch in front of the other with the opening facing up, on this side it will look like this. Here, start twisting. We're going to sew with single crochet stitches, passing the hook here under the entire chain in the front chain. We lift this loop, passing the hook under the first chain here. And in the back loop, we yarn over. And there we make a stitch. We pass the needle under the next chain. And from the chain that's in front, we're going to make the last stitch here, passing under the chain and the one that's in front. We cut the yarn. We pull it out and we're going to hide it underneath the stitches. We arrange it and do the same process with this one. I finished hiding the stitches, and this is how the handle turned out. Here, I made another one exactly the same, with the same number of stitches and the same size. Let's attach the rings. We pass it through this space. Let's put the rings on the bag. We count 1, 2, and on the third little bump, we're going to leave a space. Just one. And we're going to place it here under these two. We leave one and place it in these two. Also place the ones on this side, under the third little bump, leaving a space on each side. Now we'll attach the handle. The right side of the chain should be facing up, just like this. Let's make the tassel. I've cut 4 strands, each 25 centimeters long. They're quite thin strands. If the yarn you're working with is thick, you can split it, either into 2 or 3 parts, depending on the thickness. The important thing is that the strands are quite thin, because this tassel is thin. Of course, if you can use a synthetic tassel, that would be great. Here, I cut a smaller strand. I'm going to pass it through the center of the other strands. Here, we're going to make a knot. It should look more or less like this. So you're going to grab here on this side, this little loop, and you're going to pass it under the tassel cap. Look, this is a little tip, and we're going to use it as a little bell for the tassel, this one that's pretty small here. When you're going to do this process, add plenty of silicone to the inside of the little bell so the strands don't come loose. Because if we make more knots later, it won't fit into the little bell. So here we tighten this little spot well, the knot here, so it's nice and tight. And we pull. Here we arrange it so that the strands are the same length. We keep pulling. And we're going to cut off the excess from the knot here. Here, we're going to even out the little strands. We finished the tassel, and look how it turned out. It's pretty neat. Let's put it on. Now we're going to attach the magnetic clasp. After you've placed the clasp right in the center of the bag, you're going to make simple stitches, passing the needle 3 times through each space until it's nice and secure, making sure the nylon doesn't show on the front of the bag. I'm going to go through this step, and then I'll show you how we're going to continue. I've finished attaching the clasp, and I want to show you how spacious it is inside the bag. Here we close it. I also added the personalized label with the channel's name, and you can get it at your online store for your supplies. Let me show you how beautiful the bag turned out. Look at the sides. Here on the back. The tassel turned out beautiful. And the handles also turned out very pretty. In case you can't get all these clasps, you can just use one and attach it directly to the bag. With this, we finished the entire process of making the bag. I'm going to give you the final measurements. The height is 20 centimeters, and the width is also 20 centimeters. 21 centimeters. We've reached the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed the whole process and that you put it into practice. If that's the case, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. See you in the next class. God bless you. Bye.